Unbeing, can we choose not to exist? Edge of Becoming. Episode 11, The Choice That Erases the Chooser. What if existence itself is no longer necessary? When the question of evolution has disappeared, when there is no longer anything to strive for or anything left to change, humanity may finally confront a deeper question. Should we continue to exist at all? This question can be explored in three possible directions. Possibility 1. Existence or non-existence can be chosen. If humans can choose not to exist, then that is the ultimate form of freedom. In this view, if the choice between existing and not existing is possible, then humans become beings capable of selecting their own disappearance. This would not be death in the biological sense, but the complete erasure of self, memory, and trace. In this world, a being could vanish entirely, leaving no presence, no awareness, no residue. Those who no longer find value in existing could simply cease. The conscious choice to not exist becomes the final expression of post-evolutionary autonomy. This resembles Eastern philosophical ideas of returning to the void, or speculative science fiction's idea of total digital self-erasure. Conclusion: if we can choose not to exist, that is the purest form of freedom. Possibility 2. Non-existence cannot be chosen. To choose not to exist may be logically impossible. In this view, choice itself presupposes a chooser, a self that exists. To choose non-existence means to eliminate the subject who chose. Thus, the moment the choice is made, there is no one left to affirm that it was made. In this world, to choose non-existence is a contradiction. The act of choosing vanishes with the self who made it. It is as if the choice never happened at all. This connects with deep philosophical questions. Is it possible to will one's own annihilation if that annihilation removes even the memory of having chosen? Conclusion: choosing not to exist is a paradox, and therefore, impossible. Possibility 3. The question of existence itself dissolves. A mind beyond evolution no longer asks whether it exists. In this view, once the question of evolution disappears, so too does the question of existence versus non-existence. Both become equally meaningless. In this world, there is no need to choose. Exist and not exist are merely states, neither superior, neither requiring affirmation. Consciousness is no longer bound by the need for identity, nor for presence. This state is reminiscent of Zen's Mushin or Buddhism's Shunyata, emptiness. When even the question, "Do I exist?" vanishes, we are freed from the binary of being and not being. Conclusion: we do not choose not to exist, because the question of existence no longer arises. What determines whether or not we can choose not to exist? Let's revisit the three perspectives we've explored. Perspective 1. The view of absolute freedom. We can choose non-existence. The disappearance of the self becomes the ultimate form of evolution. Perspective 2. The view of logical contradiction. We cannot choose non-existence. The act of choosing erases the chooser, rendering the choice itself void. Perspective 3. The view beyond duality. The question dissolves. Existence and non-existence no longer matter, and the need to choose vanishes altogether. So which of these is most correct? The answer may depend entirely on the level of consciousness from which the question is asked. If consciousness still identifies itself as a distinct self, then not existing may appear to be a real option. But once consciousness moves beyond the frame of the self, the question of existing or not existing loses all meaning. In other words, whether or not we can choose non-existence depends on how we are conscious of being. So again we ask, can a human being truly choose not to exist? Conclusion: whether or not we can choose non-existence depends on the structure of consciousness itself. If consciousness retains a concept of self, non-existence appears choosable. If the structure of self dissolves, then the question, "Should I exist?" also dissolves. And if no subject remains to register the choice, then the choice is rendered meaningless. This connects with deeper philosophical questions surrounding death and nothingness. As long as there is a self to recognize itself, true self-annihilation cannot be chosen. But when even the recognition of self disappears, non-existence loses all referential meaning. The next question emerges. If non-existence cannot be chosen, does that mean human existence is eternal? If we can never truly choose to stop existing, does consciousness continue forever? And if humanity transcends evolution, does that imply we become something that can no longer vanish? Or perhaps, even eternal existence becomes something no longer chosen?